President for the podcast with your boy Q City. You guys, that was a good game. That was a good game. We lost. We came on the bad side of it, but damn, it was a good game. Trey had 40 points, that like 20 assists. If it wasn't 20, it was 19. It was super close. Um, Niang misses a shot at the buzzer, 149, 148. It's just even the announcer said, "You take that shot 15 times out of 15." Were there questionable times down the down the stretch? Like, was that a kickball in regulation that should have reset the clock? Yes. Was was the Josh Hart? Not the Josh Hart. Was the foul on Brunson? Was that an actual foul, or did the Great Barrier Thief hit the ball first? I think he hit the ball first, but it was questionable. It was questionable down the calls. I thought Big O went over the back on Cat with a possession that ended in Atlanta's favor. So it was both ways. Funny moment. A ref called a blocking foul so hard in the corner that he tripped over, tripped into the fans. I said, "Boy, you struggling to be part of this game, ain't you?" But overall, I'm not going to act like the refs or anything cost us this game. This was just the Hawks matched up well against the beast of the East. Like, we have played the Celtics well. We've played New York well pretty much every time. Um, there were a lot of things that got this game to overtime. Terrible from the line early. We continue to get down big and then expend a lot of energy just walking them down. You know what I'm saying? It kind of our name. We had the cardiac cats when Kimba was on the Bobcats and whatnot. Now we kind of got to walk them down Hawks. You know what I'm saying? Because we let these leads get built on us. 12, 14. Even tonight, I think the highest was up to 18. 18-point lead, but we walk them down. We walk them down, and we've made a habit of it. Got had a terrible one, losing streak. I think it was like 6, 7 games. We're coming on the other side of it. We're playing 500 ball right now. A loss tonight, but the Heat lost. Uh, haven't checked in on the Magic game. I'll need to check in on the Magic, but that kind of leads to the point I was going to get to, is that the Southwest Division as a whole is really ours to win. To be honest with you, Miami is, even with their additions, uh, have been really subpar this year. One game below 500. Um, we're 2 games below right now. Well, three counting tonight, so we're 26 and 29 if I'm not mistaken. Um, so we're 3 games below. Charlotte is abysmal. Washington's trash. Orlando is probably our main competitor. Like, Miami's winning the division right now. So it's Miami, Orlando, us in the 7, 8, 9. So we're in the play-in right now. Um, we should be able to go ahead and get out of the play-in and probably get into that 6 spot, just by virtue of we should be getting on a run here after the All-Star break. We there's a certain way we have to play now, because it's pretty obvious, like, we're going to be missing large swaths of this team. The future's bright, right? The future is really bright because Jalen is going to be part of that future. Kobe, when he was playing, looked like he, is dynamic and could be part of that future. Although, depending on what this offseason looks like with the clearing of cap space, I could see him as part of the deal, but I'll get to that in a second. Um, Rich is playing crazy. Like, he has just grown and grown and grown, especially like Dre was having a good season, right? But Dre never formulated into what you wanted him to be. And with you paying him what you were paying him, I knew as soon as we drafted Ricochet instead of Alex Sarr that, like, Dre's time was limited. You know what I'm saying? Did I think it was going to be the deadline this season with how good he was playing? No. But it was pretty obvious that, like, they made their choice. They're going to move on from him. With that being the case, you brought in 2 expiring contracts from, Karras. Levert, he's kind of like that slasher type who can knock down a big shot, as you saw tonight. And then Yang is just like a sniper. I see Cleveland's point of view because their core is pretty much solidified, right? And you want to get somebody who can be a lockdown perimeter stopper, knock down timely shots. Dre isn't really big on creating his own shot, but he can in a pinch. Um, he can get open in the pinch and get in the lane, 2 feet in the lane, and he a demon at that little floater. So I completely understand you may sacrifice some floor spacing and shooting for a more dynamic, you know, person on defense. Cool, get that. I'm with it. For us, it frees up a lot of cap space this offseason. Who's the big fish? Who are we going after? Who do we have our minds stuck on? Hey, this is what we want to do because Jalen's going to be coming back next year. How it looks currently, because I think they're going to go ahead and let Clint go. How it looks currently is that you will have trade the one, obviously, Dyson at the two. You'll move up Reach to the three, Jalen at the four, and Jalen at the four, and then Big O at the five, right? Which is kind of small, but then it's like, who do you want to go for to kind of make something dynamic happen on the team? This sounds like a pipe dream, right? I think Embiid may be on the market. I'm saying this now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things can change. But I think Philly is going to be in a rush to get off it. Um, I think that puts Big O in the crosshairs, right? I think they may put Jalen in the crosshairs. But do you make that move because you feel like you're close and like you really are a contender? Um, Off the top of my head, maybe Zion, is ready to move on from the Pelicans. And I'm not gonna lie to you, with everything happening in the Pelicans, because I was about to get on here and complain about like how we're going through a rash of injuries. I think their medical staff probably needs to be investigated because their injury luck is way worse than ours. Way worse, right? So, um, Zion may be on the chopping block, but I've really got to look into the cap situation to see who's really available because those type of trades was a move to clear up that cap space. Trey's an all star. He should have been. He shouldn't have been getting in his reserve, but regardless, he's an all star, as should be. So from that point of view, we have an all star on it. We have one all star on our team. We've got to pair him with another one, and that's what you free that cap space for, right? So the long term future looks bright. On the day to day, we can't be losing games to the Orlando's, Toronto's, Washington, Charlotte's of the world. We can't lose those games, right? Um, the main reason for it is that we do play well. We do play well against the top teams, but the best you can hope for is 500 against like the top five seeds in your conference. And I'm saying that as a team who is kind of middling mid, which is what we are in the rebuild phase. This has been a soft reset. Like you if you consider the 2021 conference finals run as kind of like that first iteration of the team, we had we had like a push, then we had a hard reset, then we kind of had a soft reset, right? Both those now we're kind of in that phase of a soft reset of climbing back up. We'll most likely have a play in type of situation this season, and then we're really going to be looking to make a big push next season. This was the team with the number one overall pick. And yes, it's a lottery system, but at the very least, it means that you missed the playoffs. So, we're at in a soft reset, but we have enough veterans on the team, and the team is skilled enough that we can't consistently be losing against teams that we are not only on paper, but like on paper, record wise, talent wise, have shown basketball wise, and we're better than, right? And so you're gonna lose games like tonight. You know what I'm saying? You fought hard, you brought it to overtime, but I think we're swept by the Knicks. We're either 2-1 or they're either 2-1 or 3-0 versus. So, like the Knicks got the season series. We are 500 versus Boston. I think we're 500 versus Boston. Um, we're not too great versus Philly. Versus the Pacers, Trey has lit it up. He's always lit it up against the Pacers, but I think we're 500 or we might have a losing record. So the best you can expect for right now is 500 against those teams, but that means you got to dominate the other teams, right? You're not going to get a whole bunch of wins off the Western Conference, right? You're not going to go, what is it? You're not going to go 0-30. You know what I'm saying? But your Western Conference record, I haven't seen it right now, but off the top of my head, I don't expect you to have more than a 45 winning percentage, 45% winning percentage. So if you measure that out for the season, you know what I'm saying? What's that? 12, 13 wins, 13 and 17 type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the best you can kind of hope for against the other conference. Then against your conference, against your division, when you have really bad teams in your division, a couple of these guys you need to sweep. Like Charlotte, and we've already messed this up, but Charlotte, Washington, you need to sweep them. You probably need to have a 3-1 record versus Orlando, and then you can 500 or even a game below 500 versus the Heat. But that's where you got to be if long term you're thinking that you want to grow and build with this core. And like injuries have not helped us. Nance out, Veet out. Um, we took up a roster space forever for I forget his name that never joined the team. I want to call him Plumlee. It's not Plumlee. I'm getting my white guys confused. But we kept a roster spot open for him for the longest, and so like it didn't allow you to build out depth. 18-0 Dominic is 0. 18, his name is escaping me right now. But both of them have been serviceable bigs. But like you put them up against Cat. Cat had 44 tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not reliable entry points. You can't play them big minutes. You know what I'm saying? They're not true rim protectors. Dominic can give you he can give you a little bit of an offensive spark, but like he's not a long term solution. It's even a backup big. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's no more moves that can be made this season. But with the team that we have, we should be able to make a push for the 7 spot. And then if you're in the play-in at the 7 spot, you've got options for getting into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? You at the 7 spot, you got 2 games at home. You know what I'm saying? You got 2 games at home, and you only got to win one. So earlier in the season, I said that the 6 seed was kind of our ceiling. I still feel like that's our ceiling, but I feel like a realistic option is the 7 seed, especially considering who's in 7 and 8 right now. So tune in, Birds of a Feather. Always appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Um, we'll be more regular with the posting. Football season's over, and so just take us a minute to regroup. But we're back. We're good for the basketball season. We'll have some more football content dropping. It's been your boy Q City. I'm out. Peace.